Put your hands together. Come on, make a lot of noise. We have Joanne Tindale.
Hello, I'm Joanne from Queensland. Perfect one day, censored the next. Thank you. So, I was on my way home after class the other night, and I must have been looking really sad because the Uber driver said to me, "Are you missing your family?" And I said, "No, I'm just having trouble with my punchlines." So I may look like M from the James Bond movies, only 20 years younger, but don't underestimate me. I can change the tyre on my Camry and I still have my tractor licence. The tractor comes in very handy for burying the bodies. So I grew up out west as a child, and my mother was really worried about my career prospects. She was terrified that I was going to become a barmaid at the local pub, the Royal Karangara Hotel. Now, when I finished my undergraduate degree in film, I said to Mum, "Look, I'm really keen to keep studying, and I've applied to do my PhD in screenwriting." And Mum said, "Well, that's lovely, dear, but how much does it pay?" And I said, "Well, not much, but don't worry, I've got it covered. I'm earning good money as a barmaid." So still talking about out west. So as a child we didn't have a television, and my dad used to screen films on his projector at home, and he borrowed them from his parents who owned the cinema and the garage in the local town. And we watched classic highbrow British 1960s comedy such as Carry On Dick, Carry On Again Doctor, and Carry On Up the Khyber. Now, these weren't really to my taste. I wanted to be a serious writer. So I wrote an absurdist play about ageing dairy cows. It was a comedy, a cowmedy. So during the course we've been talking about like the things that really annoy us. And what really annoys me is Disney's passive fairy tale princesses. Now there's 5 of them. There's Snow White, Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty, The Little Mermaid, and Beauty and the Beast. Now they're all embody the same myth that if a girl is beautiful, unselfish, and afraid of older women, a handsome prince will bestow upon her his love, and they will live happily ever after. So recently I had a curious 5-year-old come and visit, and she asked me, "Why do you have the flower from Beauty and the Beast on your kitchen bench?" Now, in fairy tales, a single velvety red rose determines your fate. But for me, I prefer flowers to mind their own business. So hospitals, they've overcome their overcrowding issue, and they've been rezoned as backpacker hostels. So you can book yourself in for a colonoscopy and have a hot shag. So one of the best things about getting older is that you learn from your crazy adventures. So you learn to be resourceful and survival tactics. And so such as when I was hitchhiking in France in the 1980s, and when I missed the last bus home in Beijing in the middle of winter. Now, when I was hitchhiking, I learned how to escape from an army dude. Now, he drove me off the highway, and we went down a secluded dead-end country lane, and he stopped the car, and then he turned and he looked at me, and he said, "Would you like to buy some cryptocurrency?" So I've been a film student for 13 years. Yeah, I know, 13 years, right? So I've accumulated a little bit of a HECS debt. And but like, what price can you put on unemployment? All right, thank you everyone. Joanne, Tindale.